Hi guys. Today we are going to see about wonderful documentary movie called 14 Peaks. Before the world knew about Nims Day, Nims, Purger and Project Possible, he already had a mountaineering resume that put him in the ranks of the elite. But he wanted more, not just for him, but for the country of Nepal, whose Sherpas are integral for any successful Westerner's attempt at climbing into the death zone and the world's tallest mountains. Despite his prior mountaineering successes, in 2019 Nims and his team of Nepalese climbers attempted the unthinkable and the impossible. They set out to summit the world's 14 tallest peaks within 7 months. Netflix's film 14 Peaks, Nothing is Impossible, displays incredible human and cinematic achievements that every outdoors enthusiast should watch. The film will have you shaking your head in disbelief and amazement while filling your outdoor-o-meter and have you itching to find the nearest summit. After finishing the documentary, I had to take a few minutes to contemplate what exactly I had just watched. I needed to digest it. While marathoners and Olympians get much of the praise worldwide for their achievements, and for good reason, I concluded that Nims' entire team should be considered the greatest athletes on Earth. The speed, dedication, strength, and mental fortitude they showed at Earth's most debilitating locations are unrivaled. And for Nims, it's backed up by science. To understand just how strong he is at high altitudes, the documentary shows him on a bicycle at an artificial altitude training center in London. Here, while simulating life in the death zone, the scientists pushed him to limits no other athlete had reached at the site. Nims says his ability to perform at this level is thanks to freakish physiology. He told National Geographic, "Once I'd started climbing into the death zone, I found it relatively easy to move quickly at great heights, taking 70 steps before pausing for breath, whereas other mountaineers were only able to make 4 or 5. When you zoom out and think about how Nims and his team summited the tallest 14 peaks in 6 months and 6 days, it's hard to boil down a couple of amazing achievements. I mean, the guys beat the old record by 7 years. However, I was able to pinpoint 2 parts that stood out to me. The 14 tallest peaks in the world, in order, are Everest, K2, Kangchenjunga, Lhotse, Makalu, Cho-Oyu, Dhaulagiri I, Manaslu, Nanga Parbat, Annapurna I, Gasherbrum I, Broad Peak, Gasherbrum II, and Shishapangma. Nims started by summiting Everest, Lhotse, and Makalu in a cool 48 hours. Some people train their entire lives to do Everest. It's the crowning joy. For Nims, it was just another day on the mountain. Plus, this was where his achievements began to get noticed globally. Many of us know of the famous Mount Everest photo showing hundreds of climbers lined up, headed to the summit. Nims is the photographer behind that iconic image. The second point was K2. While Everest gets all the glory, checking off K2 is a mountaineer's holy grail. The risk and the difficulty make this peak the crown jewel in climbing circles. Considering most groups were on the verge of giving up, Nims' accomplishments are even more impressive. He single-handedly energized base camp, successfully summited, and led the way for 24 individuals to reach their dreams. It can't be understated how much Project Possible changed lives on K2. About 30 minutes in, my photography brain lit up. I realized this film may include the highest quality footage of life above 8,000 meters ever. Whereas the outdoors enthusiast in me is amazed at the physical feats the team had to take to summit mountains experienced guides fret over, the videography had me floored. In the midst of freezing winds approaching hurricane levels and altitudes that can cause loss in cognitive functions, the team captured stunning footage that grips the audience. They showed an unadulterated view of life above 24,000 feet. It's a feat that should be celebrated because nothing will match it again. It's a testament to director Torquil Jones, who went through 100 hours of footage to create a masterpiece. He crafted a compelling narrative while intertwining the fantastic on-mountain video with interviews of other climbers who could provide expert insights. Then, the addition of his wife, Suchu Purger, helped show the human side of Nims and what it meant for him and his family. Even though the finished product was a success, the entire project had uncertainty from day one, financial uncertainty. With a media and brand ecosystem that favors well-established athletes and safe bets, Nims was unsuccessful in his attempt to get his project funded from the get-go. Because of this, he took the significant risk of putting a second mortgage on his house. He talks of his struggle, writing on his website. There was no funding at all at the start of 14/7. We didn't even have the money to climb the first 2 mountains when we set out. The biggest challenge of the whole project wasn't the climbing, it was the overall mental challenge of managing everything, including funding, social media, fundraising, and many other dynamics of such a huge project. When you consider everything required to make Project possible, not just a successful physical accomplishment but then a resounding filmmaking triumph, you really can only stand up and applaud. So many obstacles were stacked against him: funding, mountain weather, visas, and the ability to constantly push the human body to its limits. Yet, it's genuinely remarkable it all came to fruition. In all, Project Impossible set 7 Guinness World Records on the quest for 14 peaks in 7 months. With all that has happened over the previous 18 months, a film like this is what we needed. It shows hope, determination, love, and family. It illustrates diving into what you love and never giving up. After the last 2 years of heartache, pain, and loss, 14 Peaks, Nothing is Impossible shows us the good in humanity. It provides us a sense of what's possible even in the face of so much doubt. And it showcases a beautiful optimism in what the human body and spirit can do. 14 Peaks, Nothing is Impossible is currently available to watch on Netflix. Definitely worth watching. Thank you for support. Have a nice day.